Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the great Rickey Hill. He overcame a spinal disease to become a major league star and baseball legend, and now there's a movie being made about his life. That's his journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I am so excited. I have like a real life movie star in my studios, Rickey Hill. He inspired the movie The Hill. It's based on his true life story of overcoming a spinal disease to become a baseball legend. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I mean, how many people get to see their life story, you know, on a big screen in a theater? Not too many.
Well, I don't know one.
So before we show the movie trailer, I want you to just give the audience a little background on you. So were you born with an illness?
Yeah, I was born with, basically, they told me in the very end that I was born with hardly any disc in my spine at all. And because I had leg problems as a child, and walking was a very big problem because I couldn't walk. And when I was born, they said my legs were wrapped around each other, and they didn't know what to do back during a long time ago. I'm not going to mention what year. But anyway, saying that, basically that they didn't think it was curable. And we fought and fought, I guess, from 0 to age 4 and 5. And it really didn't hit me until I was 5, knowing what I was getting myself into, because you don't remember anything. And then I found out then my dad became a Baptist preacher, and things changed, and then life began.
Okay, we're going to show the movie trailer, and then we're going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Tie game, bottom of the 9th. At bat, Rickey Hill.
Oh my gosh! What did you do? Let's go!
Rickey, I've seen you out there swinging that stick, even when you're suffering pain. But you can't play baseball. You're gonna get ridiculed, and you're gonna wind up with an injury that you'll never get over. God's gonna give you a higher calling.
But all I want to do is play. When I swing that bat, I ain't crippled no more.
And gone, senior Rickey Hill.
He did 4 homers in 1 game.
Son, you might be better, but you are not healed.
Your bones are rapidly depleting. It'll be a miracle if you ever walk again.
You seen this? Major league trials.
You're gonna paralyze him. I don't need you filling him full of false hope. He's my son. Rickey, baseball had to end eventually. Time to figure out what you're gonna do with the rest of your life.
First time you ever talked to me like a man was to tell me to forget the only thing I ever loved.
What has gotten into you?
He's special. They said he will never walk, and he ran. How many miracles do you need?
You're planning to join the elite.
I'm one of the best hitters you're ever going to see.
A bad leg could cost the team wins and money.
It's all stacked against me.
If you don't try, you're gonna die inside. I want my dreamer back.
All your hopes,
I cannot do this alone.
dreams,
It's your time, Rickey!
determination, and sacrifices have come down to this.
Wow, I got chills. And it's in movie theaters right now.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yes. Okay, you got to know Dennis Quaid very well during the filming of this.
Yes, I did.
Tell us about that.
Well, Dennis, it was interesting to me already that Dennis and I was raised in the same state of all things, that my grandmother lived in the same city in the middle of Texas as his grandmother, and we had no earthly idea, of course. But I got to meet Dennis, and Dennis immediately and I bonded, and he listened to me every day. I had to tell him about my father, how my father acted. He wanted to know. He wanted to make it a state of perfection for him, because that's nothing mere than what he loves, is just to be a perfect actor. And he and I became very good friends overall over this, and I'm very thankful for that.
Okay, I can't even imagine what it's like to be you, that you're there for the filming, but then of course you're not in control of the editing, and so you never know exactly what it's going to look like.
That's right.
What was the feeling when you saw the completed film for the first time?
Honestly, it's kind of scared me a little bit, but I was thankful because they got in a lot of things that I wanted to get in. There was a couple of things they didn't get in that I wanted in, that should have been in, but it didn't get in, and I don't know why it didn't get in. But saying that, the overall picture, I'd have to say it's glorious. It's just an act of God for this movie to have the performance that was made from every actress that was in the movie.
That's a great way to tee up this behind-the-scenes video.
Going into the project, I had just the script, and I knew that Dennis was attached. Other than Dennis being the only other cast member, everything else started to fall into place closer to my arrival to set. I resonated the most with Rickey's tenacity for achieving his dreams. In my life, I'm extremely tenacious in my endeavors of being an actor, and I think that it's that self-belief that I have in myself of wanting to pursue my dreams is the same self-belief that Rickey has in himself of pursuing his dreams of playing professional baseball.
He did 4 homers in one game.
Son, you might be better, but you are not healed.
Your bones are rapidly depleting. It'll be a miracle if you ever walk again.
It was a dream come true to get to work with Dennis, especially in the setting of baseball and this faith-based environment that The Hill takes place in. I think it's incredible. Those are 2 categories that Dennis really hits it home run every single time he steps up to the plate, pun intended. But working with him was incredible. It's a dream come true. I admired Dennis from a very young age, watching films, of course, like The Parent Trap and The Rookie, but even some other films, little gems that people don't know about. I loved his appearance in the film Breaking Away, which is one of my favorite films. So getting to watch him as a young actor my entire life, and then getting to step on screen and share some scenes with him was a dream come true.
Rickey, baseball had to end eventually. Time to figure out what you're gonna do with the rest of your life.
First time you ever talked to me like a man is to tell me to forget the only thing I ever loved. I went through quite a different processes, if you will, of research for this role. We had the stuff with Rickey Hill and studying him and the script and getting with Rickey and asking him questions. But the physical research that I had to do was pretty in depth. I luckily had the ability to work with some trainers and dial in the baseball stuff before having to step on set and start filming. But if I hadn't had that, then I wouldn't have been able to look like the professional baseball player that Rickey truly is. I think some of the most challenging scenes to film was actually some of the baseball stuff, and it wasn't because it was particularly difficult to do, but when you're filming baseball stuff, it's kind of like you're filming it's difficult. Like you're filming a sporting event and you have to cut and start, and you have people moving around and running and catching balls and people hitting their marks and athletes trying to be in one place when they should be in another, and there's a lot to remember, and it's the scope of everything starts to get a lot bigger. It's kind of like choreographing a dance sequence with all kinds of different people in it coming from different angles, so that can get tricky. But more than that, was the conditions we were in. We were shooting late at night. Oftentimes our baseball scenes were shot all through the night into the morning with the sun coming up, so we were chasing sunlight and working in 40-degree Fahrenheit weather and outside hitting baseballs like it's the summertime. So it was definitely cold. I think that what I would most hope that audiences would take away from the film is that through determination, hard work, perseverance, and faith, you can achieve anything.
All right, tell us about working with that young actor.
That young man, when I met him, I looked at him and I said, you know, I was twice your size when I played ball. I weighed 239 pounds. And I asked him what he weighed, and he said, I weigh 175. I said, you're going to have to pick up about 50 to 60 pounds in the next week. And so he said, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I said, well, we're going to start eating tonight. And but they had to wrap him a little bit because I was so much larger. I've lost 3 inches in height, and of course I've lost weight for my spine because I do have a very problematic spine. I have 9 screws in it, and.
Wow.
Saying that, but working with him was absolutely everything I told him to do, he did it.
That had to be touching to you that the actors really wanted to do justice to your story.
It was amazing. I can't even begin to tell you the way that I took it because I looked at all these actors and each one of them talked to me, including the ladies, and I'm not a lady, but they were asking me, Rick, how did your mother do this? And how your father, naturally Dennis, my father, and then my little sister and my big sister. Then I got a big, little, and big sister. I got 4 of those. And I had to go over all those with them about how they acted. And I have never in my lifetime, in any movie that I've even watched and people that I've even known has told me, I've never seen actors act this good in my entire life. I have not.
Now, just before the show, Rickey confessed that he tried to mystery shop the movie and go in incognito, but you were busted. So what happened?
Yes, I was. Saturday night, I went to the movie. Saturday night, went in by myself. I kind of hid out and just wore a regular cap and kind of hid out and didn't say a word or anything. And at the end of the movie, it was sold out and everybody was applauding at the end of the movie. And I was just kind of watching for a second and I got caught by some lady. She saw me, she goes, were you the guy on that screen? And I said, well, I didn't really want to say anything, but I said, yes, ma'am, I was. And so she threw it out to the whole crowd. And so I was in that room for another hour.
It's amazing. We do have some video that we found off of your Facebook of you. I think you're signing the movie poster. As you look back on this, and it's in theaters right now, and we want to urge people to go see it. Do you sense that this has the potential to win Academy Awards?
I can't say that it has that. I can say that Dennis and them probably does. I don't know if the world accepts the faith part division too much in it because the world's divided in faith. And I would say as far as the actress is concerned, without a doubt. I mean, Dennis Quaid, if anybody would earn an award here, it would be him for sure. Dennis, and also the young man that played me, Colin Ford. This kid is remarkable. He's an upcoming star, without a doubt. And I praise him. I call him now. I congratulate him. I can't tell you, I had to work with his swing very hard to develop a baseball swing because he didn't have one.
Wow.
And it was from the start.
Okay, well, how are you doing? I know you're an active golfer.
Well, I golf some. I haven't golfed in now really but once in a year, but I have had, when you have 9 screws in your spine, you have 6 cages, and you have a 14-inch rod, it limits what you can do.
Yes.
And but to me, as far as I'm concerned, I've had help from certain people that's helped me in my life to get the inflammation out of my life. One of them is one man you had on your show earlier. His name's Ron Gorley, and he's with Curcumin Pro. And I started taking this product about a year ago, and for some reason, below to me, I was shocked, but all the inflammation has left my body.
It really works.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I'm thrilled. I praise God for it.
Wow. And I think your movie comes along at a time when the nation needs healing, the nation needs inspiration. It has to be an honor that your story can lift so many people up.
You know, brother, you wouldn't believe the stories I've already heard right now. I wish I had 2 hours to talk to you, but the stories that I've heard from father and son that hadn't talked to each other in 20 years are back together. Husband and wives are back together, that they went to see the movie and they didn't even know that they both went to see the movie.
Wow.
That they all got the inspiration that fulfills of what I was hoping this movie would accomplish. And that's exactly what it's done.
And those are the best kinds of movies, the ones that spark conversations afterwards.
You know, it really is. It really is. And I'm thrilled. Did I know all this? No, I never thought I'd be sitting here one day in front of you like this. I never did. But I'm very happy to. I'm a devout Christian, and I like to tell good stories. And if there's a good story to tell, I'd like to tell it. The rest of them, I'd like to leave them alone. But I tell you this much, I'm very blessed, very thankful of each and every opportunity. And anyone that's came in and helped in this movie, our whole crew, everyone, we just had the premiere the other night. And it was just a beautiful thing. The sad part is we don't have the actors because they're on strike, and it's hurting us tremendously because they're on strike. But right now, as of yesterday, we're going to have about 10,000 churches coming in.
Oh, that's amazing. And there's something these days where things go viral, and I think you just have that kind of movie and that kind of story.
I think so too. I didn't ask to be the guy behind this movie. I'm the vessel. I'm just the vessel. Yeah, I've taken a lot of pain. I mean, people don't realize that I didn't play 4 years. I played 6. I played in other countries.
Wow.
And just to make it just one more game, I did eventually collapse on the ball field, just like the doctor said. You will be paralyzed on the field because you don't have the disc. You don't have it. How are you even swinging a bat? I'll tell you how I was swinging it. I took the pain, and I wasn't afraid of pain. I just got used to pain. And so finally, I did collapse, diving headfirst into second base. And I was playing the Mexican League, and I was not here. And those are major leaguers too.
Yes.
Those tough players.
Rickey, we got about a minute left. So in the final minute, give some words of inspiration to the person out there watching this who see a little bit of themselves in you and have self-doubt, but want to just keep pushing through.
I'd like to mainly say this to the 6 to 12-year-olds, really mainly. When they tell you can't, that's when you let them know you can. Don't ever sit down. Always stand up. Always be there. And you fight that battle one by one because you can make it work. I hit 2,000 rocks a day with wearing leg irons. And if I can hit 2,000 rocks, so can you. And if you use that and you put that in your heart, not in your head, put it in your heart, that you can do it, I would say that's what you do. You keep your head straight on it and don't you ever quit.
Wow, what a beautiful way to end this segment. We're also going to leave with the movie website, which is thehillmov.com. The great Rickey Hill. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, my friend.
You bet.
Thank you, brother.
That's it for now.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you next time.